One evening, as I glanced at my wife's phone, a contact named Dr. L caught my eye. I asked her casually, "Who's Dr. L in your contacts?" Her reaction was immediate. A stillness that wasn't about forgetting, but about being exposed. In that fleeting moment, the foundation of our marriage crumbled, revealing a truth I hadn't suspected. Let me guide you through the story that reshaped my life, starting from the very beginning. I'm Ethan, and I once believed my marriage was flawless. Clara and I had shared 8 years together, 5 of them as husband and wife. We owned a beautiful home, held fulfilling careers, and I thought, an unbreakable bond. Clara managed marketing campaigns for a software firm, always tethered to her phone, fielding calls and messages, a routine I assumed was just part of her job. I worked as a structural engineer, typically home by 6, while Clara's evenings often stretched late. Our life followed a predictable rhythm: dinners, streaming shows, and bed. Weekends were filled with errands and visits with friends, typical married life. Everything seemed fine, unremarkable even. But hindsight reveals the subtle cracks I overlooked. The unraveling began 3 months ago on a quiet Tuesday night. Clara was upstairs in the shower, her phone vibrating relentlessly on the kitchen island. Normally, I wouldn't have cared, but the persistent buzzing drew my attention. Glancing at the screen, I saw a notification. Dr. L is excited for tomorrow. My first thought was practical, maybe a medical appointment she hadn't mentioned. Yet something felt off. Clara was meticulous about our shared calendar, logging every detail. When she came downstairs, hair still wet, I asked lightly, "Got a doctor's visit tomorrow?" I saw a text from Dr. L. That's when it happened. She froze, her face paling, and for a brief second, her eyes betrayed a flicker of fear. "Oh that," she said, her laugh forced and unnatural. "It's just work. Dr. Larson from the Seattle branch. We're partnering on a project." Her explanation was plausible, but the way her gaze avoided mine sent a chill through me. That night, sleep eluded me. Lying beside her, listening to her steady breathing, I stared at the ceiling, feeling as though a stranger shared my bed. I tried to dismiss it as paranoia, but doubt had taken root, growing with each passing day. I began noticing things I'd previously ignored. Clara grew fiercely protective of her phone, carrying it to the bathroom, charging it by her nightstand instead of the kitchen counter. Her late nights at work increased, sometimes keeping her out past midnight. But the most unsettling change was her behavior toward me. She became overly attentive. She'd surprise me with morning coffee, plan impromptu date nights, and shower me with small gifts. If I hadn't been suspicious, I might have thought she was just being thoughtful. Instead, it felt like she was overcompensating. 2 weeks after that text, I crossed the line I never thought I would. I hired a private investigator named Tom, a retired detective with a weary, but kind demeanor. Meeting him felt like a betrayal of my own values, but the uncertainty was consuming me. "Most times, people's gut feelings are spot on," Tom said gently. "But sometimes there's a simple explanation. Either way, you're entitled to clarity." He worked quickly, delivering answers within days. On a Friday afternoon, as I was overseeing a bridge construction site, my phone rang. "Ethan, we need to meet," Tom said. "Can you come to my office?" My hands trembled as I drove across the city, his somber tone already confirming my fears. When I arrived, Tom's expression said it all. He slid a folder toward me. "Dr. L isn't a co-worker," he said softly. "His name is Michael Lawson, a pediatric surgeon at Seattle General. Divorced, 1 child, and he's been involved with Clara for 5 months." The photos inside the folder shattered me. Clara and Michael at a cafe I'd never visited. Clara and Michael strolling hand in hand through a park. Clara and Michael sharing a kiss outside a boutique hotel. But the image that cut deepest was the last. Clara laughing, her face radiant with a joy I hadn't seen in years. It wasn't just the betrayal that broke me. It was realizing she was truly happy with someone else. "There's more," Tom added. "She's been using a corporate credit card for their outings, fancy dinners, weekend getaways." I stopped him. The thought of legal battles or divorce was too much. I just wanted to know why. That night, Clara came home at her usual time, around 8:45. She brushed a kiss on my cheek, asked about my day, her routine unchanged. The normalcy felt like a cruel illusion. How was work? I asked, placing the folder on the dining table. Hectic, she replied, rummaging through the fridge. Long strategy session with the Seattle team, including Dr. Larson. She froze mid-sentence, her back to me. I opened the folder, spreading the photos across the table, each one landing like a hammer in the silence. Clara turned, saw the images, and her face collapsed. Ethan, she whispered, her voice barely audible. 5 months, I said, my tone eerily steady. You've been deceiving me every day for 5 months. She sank into a